All right, welcome everyone to the March edition of our YarnYAY midweek meetup. I am here, obviously. Chris, who usually runs the helm of grabbing all the links and posting them and doing all the searching of the patterns, isn't here. He had a prior engagement. Karen, Miss Karen is here. Bless her. I don't know if she's ever been on Ravelry. So we're going to just try together to get all the links and do all the sharing. We'll see. We'll see how
I can help a little bit with that too.
Yeah, we'll just grab them and put it. And also too. We'll figure it out. So I want us to start before we check in with everyone. Just a little update on all things YarnYAY. It feels like we've had a bunch of stuff coming up. So the first thing, let me share my screen. The first thing that is today, that is not at all it. There we go. So today we launched the overprint crochet along. We've actually oddly never officially done a crochet along or a knit along. I mean, we kind of do it every month unofficially with our monthly boxes in the group, but this is like a proper one with like a weekly breakdown. For those of you that aren't familiar, this bag is designed by our design manager, Julia Medill. But Julia is also, I've known her for about a decade and a half. She used to be on the Yarnspirations design team. That's when I met her, when I was their spokesperson, forever ago. And so when she went out independent, I nabbed her as soon as I could. But she got this design in the most recent issue of Pom Pom. And she even got the back cover. We're very proud. And this is just a really great, it's a really great project. It looks simple, but it's very smartly designed. It has gussets. It's got doubled handles so that it'll be nice and strong. And for you fans of Queer Eye, this model is from one of the featured people from the Austin season. So, we love that extra much. So anyways, so that what started today. You can get kits from us. I'm going to just keep it here because I have something else to show you. But full disclosure, this is not my yarn is not the yarn that it was made, that the bag was designed in. It was designed in I think a yarn from Denmark, and it's a little bit difficult to get here in the States. So I tried to for these kits. So instead, we put it together with Montoya Merino Light. We greatly discounted it to try and make it a little more affordable. It's still not as affordable as I would have liked. If you use our stuff, love you, heart you, mean it. But if you don't, still join in the crochet along. You can go to the website if you want, and all the information about how the breakdown is there. We also will be talking about it in the group, and I actually broke my Ravelry group fast of like 4 years, and I dusted off ye old Ravelry group. I renamed it YarnYAY, and we started a thread. So what I'm going to do for this, I plan on doing for all the monthly boxes as well, is its own individual thread on the forum. I'll still do it in our group, but it's so much easier to find stuff and organize things when you can start a new thread for things. So that's just sort of a new addition. And then the other new-ish thing is, not new-ish, new this week is, it was a very crochet heavy week, is our latest kit, which is the Gumdrops crochet shawl. Some of you might have made a version of this from the advent calendar. We just sort of resized it and took it down to 2 colors. And it's made in our 2 of our brand new colors, Blue Lapis and Crystal Quartz. So that is also available on our website. All right. Christina, I see a hand.
You do see a hand, because nowhere that I looked on YarnYAY or in Ravelry or on Facebook did it say how to actually sign up for the CAL.
There's no signing up, really. It's just a follow along. Yeah, it's just a follow along.
And I never found anything to follow. There's one little note on Ravelry that says that it's going to be there. And then I saw the pretty picture on Facebook, but nothing else about any...
Have you looked today? All the details were posted today. There's like a mile-long post from Julia Julia posting everything. It's just in the group. You're already there. And then it's mirror posted. And tonight, the second we get off of this meetup, the email will go out to all our.
Okay.
Yeah. As you can see, like this is our first one doing it with this group. So yeah, Julia mentioned that today, that ahead of time we should tell everybody all the things. And I was like, well, we're going to announce it today, but I can see that there is, if you had questions, I'm sure many people have questions. So, but yes, you can find it, you can find it by going on our website. I've added a tab that lists all of the things that are going to happen each week to the kit. And it's also in the Ravelry group and also in the on the Facebook group.
Okay, I will look again. Thank you.
And it was this evening that we updated it.
Okay.
And there's also a brand new interview with Julia talking about the design, talking about the process of submitting to Pom Pom.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's really, yeah, it was fun. So I just got that up. It took me a lot longer than we thought for all of the things today, but it's up now. And I appreciate your patience, and hopefully I know I did get we have had a lot of people that have been bummed out that our upcoming quarterly box is only for knitters. And I wanted to just acknowledge a couple things. First of all, I love crochet as much as knitting. Absolutely. We've found that it's about a 70-30 split, the crocheters versus the knitters that we have. And I hope to serve both groups at all times. But the reality is, well, there's two things. I've told you before, I'm the only full-time person. Everybody else is contract and part-time. And you have to do just as much work to create a pattern from scratch and tech edit it and have the sample made for one as you do the other. So if one isn't selling, you sort of like try and figure it out. All that to say, but that isn't the only reason that we just decided to go with knitting for now. We may change that. Really, one of the things that's been challenging for the monthly box is that all of the notions and extra things that I find for you, they have to be good for both crafts. Right. So that means that excludes a lot of potential items. Totally fine. And I think it's great for a monthly box because the monthly box is really about tasting things, about checking things out. But for a longer experience like this, I wanted it to be very specific. So all that to say, we are this summer launching a crochet box. It's not a subscription as of now. It's a one-off. If it does well, then we're going to build that out into either its own quarterly, or maybe it makes more sense for it to be biannual. We're just going to experiment that way. So I just wanted my crocheters to know that this is nothing but us just trying to keep things moving. And we are very conscious that our crocheters want some love too. And hopefully our 2 offerings this week show that, or at least are the step towards showing that. But if you have any questions about the quarterly box, we are getting very close to being able to ship. We're going to do a project type reveal. You don't get to see the project, but just what type, because we'll make a different type of something every quarter. We're going to do that in, I think it's like another week and a half. And then we're only about 2.5 weeks away from when we start to ship. So I'm really excited about it. It's beautiful. I added something kind of last minute, not kind of, definitely last minute. I've been thinking a lot about the value and about how much I appreciate folks sort of investing a little bit more, and also what it means to have a bigger project that's spread out longer. And I think it's more of a journey than a monthly box is. One is about like trying things, seeing what you like, and then you're like, okay, I want to go on more of a journey, or I'm like, I'm done, did it, thanks. For quarterly, I want it to feel like, or it's my intention that it feels a little bit more like you're sitting in for the ride a bit. And so I've decided to create a full class for the project for every box. So that means like step by step, and it'll be through Teachable. but it will come for free as part of your subscription, beginning with this first one. So it'll have its own, it'll definitely be its own thing, especially for folks that are thinking about don't know if they want to do both. They will be very different in that way. Okay, I took up a lot of time just chatting. So let's talk about the important stuff, like what's everyone making? So I'm working on, and I can pull this one up, Karen, because I don't remember what it's called. So I'm a sucker for the Pearl Soho emails. And I mean, good on them, because they send like 3 a day. But I just love the simplicity. I dig it. And I never have time to make any other things. But I saw this hat. It's the far and wide hat. So this is how much I have made, but I'll share. Let me share the screen. So this is the hat. It's just like a solid, like wear it all the time beanie. And I'm doing mine in a black and aqua, as you just saw. What's cool about it is that it's in a linen blend and it's on 3s. So it's light enough weight that I'll be able to wear it in Austin. I mean, not a lot, but a little bit. But it's cool because they have you do a provisional cast on at the beginning. Because I don't know if you can tell, the brim is doubled over to give it a little extra thickness. So I'm guessing, I'm not there yet. I'm guessing that you will, I don't know how we're going to attach them. If the stitches are live, maybe we're going to do some kind of 3-needle bind off and then keep going. I don't know. It's an adventure. But this is my, I don't generally get to knit other people's stuff or crochet or whatever. But I recently started doing some volunteer work that is pretty intense, but also has some lag time in between things. And so I needed something that I could just sort of like have to deal with stress, but also that would be super easy. And this has been great for that. So the far and wide hat is, thank you, Claudia, for posting that, is what this is. And I am not even done with the brim yet. So it may just look like this forever, but I dig it. All right. Kristen, what are you working on?
Oh, I'm getting my life back together. That's what I'm working on.
Feeling better?
I am. My mom did pass away in February. That's why
Yes,
I missed.
we talked this last time.
Yeah, and had the memorial service last Saturday. So things are done, and I'm getting on with taking care of me.
Good.
So started home physical therapy today. They did all the evaluation stuff, not actually any of the exercises yet, but that'll happen Friday. I am test knitting a shawlette for a friend of mine who is a hand dyer in Pittsburgh, and she also designed some stuff.
Okay.
Design more. So I am currently one of her test knitters doing a single skein fingering weight size. And it's kind of a way as you go. It's really neat. So this would be a great way to use. And I just was texting with her earlier. I'm like, what about hand spun? She's like, I wasn't even thinking about hand spun. So it'll be the perfect way to use a hand spun. And then I had purchased one of the little electric eel wheel nano 2s. And because of all my fibromyalgia and the arthritis in my knees and the sciatica in my back, I have a very hard time sitting at a traditional wheel these days and spinning. This tiny little thing has changed my life.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I am absolutely loving spinning again.
It's called Nano what?
It is by Dreaming Robots. And it's the electric eel wheel, or EEW Nano 2. Is the one I got. So it's right here. It is cute and tiny and extremely portable.
Oh,
Run it off of a battery or any USB connection. And this has been my gateway drug. So I just found somebody selling an Ashford e-spinner 3 on Rav today, and I bought it used from him. So he'll be mailing it out in the next day or so. So I'll actually have a like full-size wheel, if you will, to spin on again, that does not bother my various, you know, physical issues.
Yeah.
I have been just loving spinning again.
Oh, I'm so glad you found something that worked. And that's pretty adorable. Claudia, I bet our friend, I bet Melinda would be into this because she could take it with her to work.
You can. I mean, you can take it camping.
She would love
in
it.
the car, you know, because you can run it off of a phone, you know, a phone battery charger.
So
pack.
it's just, you just crank it?
No, it's electric.
Oh, you don't even have to. So what are you doing?
Hold
What
on.
do you do?
Looking pretty.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, it's got its little bands here. The tension is back here. I've got it off right now. Teeny tiny little orifice hook. I don't know if you can like kind of see it against my face here, but it just clamps on here with a couple of magnets. And literally you plug it in or you plug it into a battery and you turn it on and you start spinning. You don't have to
But
worry.
for those of us that aren't spinners, what does that mean if you're not actually making the wheel go around? Like what action are you doing then?
You're doing everything with your hands.
Okay.
You're
So you're
actually
twisting it?
controlling the
Okay.
yarn. Yeah, you're controlling the yarn that you are creating. So I bought these gorgeous poonies or Rolegs off of a lady on Etsy in the Aurora Borealis colorway.
Mm.
And I am just loving this so much. I can actually spin again.
It's
I
good to hear a little happiness in your voice after last month.
Yes.
It's good to hear.
Yes. And I am just like, I feel like weights have been lifted off of me,
Oh, that's
you
wonderful.
know? And yeah, I'm writing a whole lot of thank you notes right now.
Yeah.
But you know,
That's a good problem to
okay.
have. Yep. That's
Yeah,
a good thing to
good
have.
problem to have. It was a beautiful service. It was a beautiful tribute to her. It's just the kind of party she would have wanted for a send-off.
Good.
And I still have some pretty flowers around because oh my gosh, the flowers, the florist that we got, the flower arrangements were just
Oh, those are lovely.
beautiful. And we did them all in friendship cups because my mother collected friendship cups. And so we took them out of the friendship cups and put them into plastic, but so we could wash all those and put them away. But yeah, my cousin had the idea of using my mom's friendship cups, and I just like
Lovely. That's a lovely way to honor her.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing, and I'm so glad that you're doing better and that you found some stuff to channel your positive energy into.
Yes. Thank you so much, Vicki.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody.
Claudia, what are you working on? Oh, wait,
hold on.
stop. Claudia, no, do not say anything. What's
Okay.
happening?
Wait. I did
look.
finish it. This was the
Oh.
because I wound up with two different
Oh, I
October
dig it.
sets.
Yeah, that's the Rowan Norwegian.
This is so I finished this crescent.
That's such a cool.
Lot.
Remind me who that pattern is again.
I'll pull it up and put it in the chat. But
Okay.
I know you want pictures of it.
Oh, that's right. We talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah, you said
know
it
what?
before.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so just let me know where you want me to send pictures once I have them.
Oh, it's just
You just
hello
wanna
at
put 'em up.
YarnYAY.com. Yeah, just send it
Okay.
to support or hello or whatever. It's Karen.
Okay.
She's here. She's
Okay.
currently not face available, but she's here lurking.
Okay. Hi, Karen. Just emailed you earlier.
She's like, everybody did. Everybody did. It's this week, and let's see what's today. So this is the beginning of our packing weeks. So, and she helps with that too. So, you know, grace and all of that is happening right now. So, okay, we'll love it. Thank you so much. Okay, Claudia, now you're on for real.
All right. So I don't know. My knitting karma is just not good lately. So, you know, I was knitting that Hannah Falkenberg jacket
Yeah.
I loved, and I was having a lot of fun. And I had, you know, for a while, I didn't have all the yarn in one bag and I panicked, but I found the other bag of yarn. So I was all good to go. Then I ran out of the color.
Oh, no.
And I was just freaking out, but I happened to have recently bought a sweater from a Danish yarn store that also has Hannah Falkenberg patterns. And I don't know how I missed it when I was searching for this Shetland yarn, trying to see if I could find a color that I could substitute. But all of a sudden I got an email from them saying, here's the Hannah Falkenberg Shetland yarn. And they had the exact plum color I needed, which is the one I ran out of. I have plenty of black, so I'm not worried about that. But they have black.
Yeah.
And the gray they have is a little bit too different, but I think I have enough gray. And if worse comes to worse, I'll flip the gray and the black and I'll be able to finish the whole thing.
That sounds like your knitting karma is good for that to happen.
It changed. I was so shocked when I saw that. I mean, I got the yarn and the plum color looks like it's the same dye lot. Even though I bought the kit in like 2005, it's so close. It looks like the same dye lot. So I had that. But in the meantime, I started knitting a Shetland hat, a Fair Isle hat. So this is let me turn off my background. This is from every week Shetland Wool Week has a project, a hat that they sell, that they make available and give people. So it's adorable and has sheep on it and it has ships and it's a delight to knit and I'm almost done. I'm down to like, I don't know, 40 stitches.
Where did you say I could find that?
It's called hold on, let me see. Shetland Wool Week beanie. And it's from a couple of years ago. It's the 2019 version.
Oh, I got it. It is called
good.
the Roadside Beanie, my friend.
Okay, there you go.
Ravelry, I'm back.
But I adore knitting Fair Isle, and I've forgotten
I know you do.
how much I adore knitting Fair Isle. So
what is it about that you love?
You know, for me, it's almost mindless. Once you get used to the pattern, you're only ever using, or normally you're only ever using 2 colors at a time.
Yeah.
And you repeat the same relatively short pattern over and over and over. So it's mindless to me in the sense that it's rhythmic and it's soothing, but it's not boring. Like I can't do too much garter stitch if there's not something else going on.
Yeah.
But I just love Fair Isle. And you weren't at the first retreat we did, Vicki, as a group. But
no, because I was toddler poor. I had
That's
2
right.
toddlers. I had an infant and a toddler.
The main project I brought to that, before we realized we always needed to bring sober, tipsy, and drunk knitting projects to these retreats.
Well, you're just letting everybody know all of our business.
That's right. That was the project that
Love
regardless of
it.
how much I was drinking, that's the project I worked on, the Fair Isle sweater for my husband. So I don't know. I just
That's a
find
gift.
it soothing and life affirming. And I love the feel of the wool. It's just awesome. It was interesting too. I had bought, when I bought the Tea Cozy kit, I bought that from Jameson and Smith, got the kit from them. And when I bought the hat for the yarn for the hat, I found it at I like to, support US yarn stores too. I found it at Northfield Yarns in, I think, Minnesota.
Yeah.
And it shares 2 colors in common and they're the same dye lot. So I was just astounded that I could get yarn from Scotland and yarn from Minnesota. Granted, they're the same company, I understand that, but they're the same dye lot.
They had just like shipped at the same time. Fascinating.
Yeah. So I'm using up the partially used skeins to boot. So it makes me happy as an obsessive, I need to use up all the yarn person. So
Have you always been that way?
yes.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, when I did the one of the shawls, the the shawl, the olive
The crazy one with the beads and the tiny
no,
lace.
no, no. The olive and black one from YarnYAY.
Oh, mine. Yeah, that was easy. Yeah.
The Valentine.
Yeah, Vivid Valentine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to use all the yarn, so I made mine much bigger, just so I could use up all the yarn for that project. So,
Good for
there
you.
go.
Good on you. Good on you.
I have Kristen and I are soulmates on this.
Oh, yeah.
Funny.
So anyway, that's I'll also get back to the Hannah Falkenberg, and I really want to get back and finish the edging on the shawl that I have. All I have to do left is a quarter of the edging. So I find I'm really starting to feel enough better that I think as long as I'm not tired,
Yeah.
I can knit that again. So when I finish this hat, I'm going to try to make a little bit of progress on each of my 3 other main projects and work, and then try to finish the edging on that shawl. And blocking that's going to be, I don't know how I'm going to do that. It's going to be big and it's going to be hard, but I will make it.
You'll do it. That
I
is
will.
the first like big and hard shawl that you've blocked. I mean,
Well, I've done it. I've done a bazillion in the past, but I haven't done one in about a year. So
it's like riding a bike. You're gonna be
that's
fine.
right. That's right. And I don't have a dog who's going to jump up on the bed anymore. So
That
as much
is
as I
a
miss
game
my dog,
changer. I know.
but that will be a big help.
My mom, when my mom was here, so my daughter was in a play in her middle school, and so my mom flew out. She's retired now, and so she came out for it. And so whenever I always joke that she's my best like sample knitter, but up until now had an actual job, like she's got a master's in education and she had some things to do, and so working for me for free, maybe not the best laid plan, but now she's retired. And so she came, and we have a variation of an existing, actually it's this sweater that I have on, the cropper. We're creating a pullover version, and that can be any length, and it's just a really easy, nice tee boat neck for summer, but she's making it. Where was I going with this? What were we just talking about?
You're talking about using up all the yarn and blocking.
Block. Nope, that isn't where I was going. What did you just say? So I also, guys, you should also know I'm having a lot of brain fog issues lately. My Hashimoto's disease has been acting up, and I'm like, I just lose things every once in a while. We were talking about blocking. We were talking about yarn. We were talking about
missing my dog.
Oh, that's it. That's it. So she, I thought she was going to get through like a whole panel while she was here, and it was really just a little bit. And so she took it home with her to California, and then she texted me. She's like, it's amazing how much more I can get done when I don't have a 50-pound puppy like jumping on me all the time. And I was like, yeah, I feel it.
Riley was only 20 pounds, but still he could wreak havoc.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's simple lace, but it is a lace pattern. So when stitches drop, it's not, it's a pain. It's a pain. So yeah, so that's funny.
Anyway, that's what I'm working on.
Well, thank you, Claudia. Lisa, I'm assuming that you're not going to show any knitwear while you're driving, but
yes, but I do have a quick question.
Yeah, do it.
The January box, I loved that yarn. I knit it into a cowl, and it looked perfect, very drapey, like the actual pattern I was trying to make.
Great.
And then I blocked it, and it said block gently, and I thought I did that, and it won't do anything nicely anymore. So I'm wondering if I can.
Felt a little. January seems like 10 months ago. I can't even remember what the yarn is. Hold on, I'm gonna look at my grid.
I think it was that pop cycle. Is that right?
Oh.
It was. It didn't help.
It wasn't that is by Skacel.
Okay.
I know
the blue.
It was not that. It's wool pop.
Yes.
Okay.
Wool pop. Sorry, I
Yeah,
got the
got
pop
it.
part.
No, but I knew like we did do pop cycle, but it was like
We did. That was forever ago.
it was in like, July 2020, I don't even know, 2021. So are you
Can I
saying
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know, because it blocked beautifully for me and the other designer. Like, what do you mean when you say it won't do anything anymore? What does that mean?
It doesn't have a soft, squishy drape anymore.
So
The
that's
pattern I
fascinating.
used. Is it possible to yank it out and
You're
wait
cutting.
yet throw away what I did?
Wait,
but-
you cut out. So,
Sorry.
so what did you use to wash it?
I washed it with soak,
Okay.
and I tried to pin it relatively small. I didn't stretch it. I just
Yeah.
kind of took it where it was and made it into a rectangle. But I don't know what I did. Is it possible to yank that out and start over, or just throw it away and use my leftover? Maybe. I haven't weighed it
So
yet to
I've
see if I
not
can
heard
redo it.
I've not heard of this issue before, so I'm having a hard time answering the question, but I will tell you,
Okay.
we don't have any left in the studio, or else I would just send it to you. But what I can do, like if you have a picture of what happened, I can message the creative director at Universal and ask, like,
It doesn't need to be that big a project. I just wondered if you've
Yeah.
ever yanked something out and gone for it over again, if I've already just messed up the yarn.
so the answer is yes, I have. But so she can't read this, Karen, because she's driving, but there's a chat. She said you can email the pictures to hello@yarnyay.com.
I'll pull it up when I get home.
Yeah. Well, just support hello@yarnyay, any of them. Karen gets them all. So it depends on if something happened with the yarn. I need to see the picture, but otherwise, yeah, we frog things all the time, and
okay.
and
I assume it's just me. I imagine the yarn's fine.
I don't know you well enough to know the answer to that, but we're happy to take a look at it. And if there is a specific thing, if just something happened with, I don't know what pattern you used either. So
I can send it all.
So if you give us a little more information, because if you use soak and you made sure to thoroughly rinse it out, and you did the rolling it up in the towel, and you laid it, if you did all the things, then I'll need to see it to answer the question.
Okay.
Unless,
thank you.
Yeah, if anybody else has any, well, I guess it might be yarn specific. Yeah, we'll look at it. So sorry for that, because that's so much work. I know what a bummer that is when something doesn't go well, but yeah.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Let's see. Lori, what are you working on?
So I went to California and I needed something mindless for the plane. So it's like a really light cowl.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the CNC cowl. I don't know if it'd be on Ravelry. It was an advertisement on Facebook that I saw, and it just caught my eye because of the way it hung. And then as I've gotten into it, I guess it like shapes into a smaller thing at the top. So it's fun though.
I don't see it on Ravel, like C as in the letter C, or C as in floating in
CNC
the
cowl. It was from a place called Mountain Meadow Wool. I've never ordered from them before, so. And when I went and looked at their website, it didn't look like they had a ton of stuff, so.
Oh, I found it. Found it.
It's just like a pretty light fall color mix.
Yeah, it's funny because it looks very similar to our February scarf, except for, I see what you're talking about, shaping. It looks like it funnels a little bit.
Right.
Like it's a little bit smaller up at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very pretty.
It is pretty. So I'm excited to see if it comes out. I'm already on my second ball of yarn though, and I'm just finishing the first section. So I'm a little worried, but since the stitches
Alexa,
cut down,
stop.
it may be okay.
Well, I mean, it'll be wearable even if it's at this, like, it looks like
Even
it's
if it
almost
cuts off
cowl,
soon.
but yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Don't you think? It already
think so.
looks relatively cowly.
Yeah. It's got a cute drape, so I like it.
Oh, good. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it for today.
Good job. All right. Thank you, Lori. Let's see who else has their camera on. Elizabeth. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
I just
do-
started about the time the meeting started. The March box with the
Mhm.
I got 2 skeins of it, so I'm just at the very beginning, and my brain keeps fogging as to how to like do slip knit. But aside from that, I made this for my friend's grandson, and it's just simple Burdette yarn, and it's just
Those are the coziest.
oh my god, it's just the softest thing, and the kids in school are all loving it. And
What's
did,
what's the name of that pattern? Do you remember?
that pattern is I did that myself.
You did? Okay.
So what I did was it's the Blackberry pattern from Vogue Knitting,
Uh-huh.
and it's multiples of 4, and I did 3 on each side of selvage, so I did 3 knit stitches, and then it's just like it's all purling. It's purl 3 together, then increase.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I think you actually have a similar, I think there's actually a very similar project that you have. But it's I feel like there's I feel like I was looking through your stuff, and
well, it wasn't I want to show you. Talk amongst yourself. I'm going to grab something.
okay. So you do like 1 row is just purling, your odd rows are just purling, and it's purl like increase 3 and increase 2 in 1 stitch, and then purl 3 together. So you get like this great little bubble effect, which I thought would be cute for a little baby boy. And then of course, there's another woman in school who's pregnant. So I'm going to create another blanket. I don't know which stitch I'm going to use. And she has a boy, but she's tired of getting blue things. So it's purples and yellows. But it's just the Burdette. I mean, it's inexpensive, it's soft, and you can throw it in the washing machine.
Yeah, it lasts. So this is the blanket. It's years and years old, so it's lost all, like the extra fuzziness.
Yep.
But this is that same yarn, and it was a pattern, a baby blanket pattern, because this was back when I worked with Yarnspirations, who is the hub for Burnett and all of this. And it was a baby blanket, and I just, did the math and made it bigger. And I made this for my now 21-year-old son, who, before he was going in for to the hospital for a sleep study, he had pediatric epilepsy, which he's since grown out of. But this is still on his bed, and it looks like it's a similar type of stitch, not pearls, but it's definitely. Actually, you know what? This is crocheted.
Yeah. Okay.
This is crocheted. Yeah, so it is totally different, but it reminded me of that. But I did a post about this, so maybe that's what you saw.
Yeah.
It would have been,
I don't know if it was in your book you did a few years ago. I had picked it up at oh gosh, in New York.
this one, the knit
Yeah.
bag?
Yep. I don't know if it's something. Anyway, it's a simple stitch. It's in the Vogue Knitting. It's called Blackberry.
Yeah.
And when I do baby blankets, I sometimes just like to do a little funky stitch that Burdette didn't have knitting things. They had crocheting things on the side. So I did that. Another one's coming. I'm not sure what stitch I'm going to do for this girl in work, but until that yarn comes in, I'm going to try to remember how to I know how to do it. It's just my brain is tough.
How to do knitting.
How to knit, how to cable, and how to make one left and, you know, slip, knit tonight. I can't even slip, knit tonight. So anyway, so I'm having fun with it.
It may not be the night for that project. I have to do that all the
No, it
Or I'm
might
like-
not. I might just have to put it
Or I'm
down.
like, oh, you and I will talk later.
Yeah,
because
but
I
it-
know-
this is
I
all
always
stuff that I can
remember-
look up and,
Make
But-
one right is your BFF.
yeah.
So if you go back to front and then through the front,
Yeah.
that's your make one right, and that's your BFF.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like
then
that.
and then your make one left is your FBB. It's not your best friend at all.
Okay.
Now,
All right. I'll try to
we're gonna have to
comprehend
workshop
that.
one.
The
Yeah.
way I learned, the mnemonic I learned was I left by the front door, but I'll be right back. So you go through the front of the yarn
stitch,
from
yep.
below, and then
Okay.
you when you do it, you knit through the back of the loop of that one. But then when you're doing the other direction, but I'll be so from the, if you want the left leaning, you go through the back of the stitch, and that's
Yeah.
how I've
Yeah.
always done it. So
I'm gonna remember one of these, or else I'm gonna.
I'm gonna have to try too, but anyway. So that's me tonight. I'll let you guys talk more.
That sounds good. All right, thank you. I gotta get back to speaker view so I can see everyone. Ellen, what are you working on?
I am working on just a little baby blanket. Basically what it is, you know, that dish towel that everybody learns how to do that goes out in the triangle, then you go back. That's what I'm making. And almost, it was 3 weekends ago, I was at a youth organization meeting, and we referred to losing your brain as squirrel moments. Like if you have a dog and
Yeah.
it sees a squirrel and you have no control over the dog, or small children.
Yeah, for sure.
And my knitting group my local knitting group had their retreat where we went up to one of the, what was it? It's not a state park, state recreational area where they have a camping area. They have an actual lodge that they have in there, and we went up there and were highly entertained by all the people that were. On Saturday, we had all the tree huggers. They were out hugging trees. We have lots of fun, but what happens at knitting retreat stays at knitting retreat.
Well, that's good. Is anybody going to any other retreats anytime soon? Like I saw that registration's about to open up for Vogue knitting, and I think Stitches just happened maybe. And then somebody was going to, who was going? I think it was Lori was going to maybe go to the interweave one. Does anybody have any plans to do anything fun like that? Yeah, no, me neither. Me neither. Hi, Isabel. Do you want to share what you're working on?
Oh, actually, I just got my prize yarn.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start that hat. That's it, really. I have not been inspired.
Oh, ebbs and flows sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, you
Okay,
came in kind of at the tail end. I think we're a small group tonight, so I think everybody's shared
Oh,
so far.
yeah.
But we did record the whole thing. What's everybody else up to this for the rest of the week? Do we have, let's see, what's coming on? It's not Easter yet. I'm trying to think what we have going on. My daughter has one of her School of Rock performances. She's in the pop punk band this time on Sunday, and then dance auditions for the summer musical that AISD puts on Saturday. So it's going to be a very performy weekend for us. I don't think anything besides that. We're just hustling, at YarnYAY, we're just hustling to try and get a bunch of stuff done. I'm thinking about opening up the YarnYAY studios for the first time ever for an open house. Because it's like, it's our 5th anniversary. So, and it's a really cute little main street that we're around the corner from. So people could make a day out of it. So I'm thinking about that. It's a very small window that we can do that because it has to be when it's not packed with boxes. So I'm thinking about that, trying to wrap my brain around that. And then we're also going to open it up for teachers to use the space to teach classes as well for any number of things. So we're getting things ready for that.
That's,
Yeah.
that's really nice.
Kind of where we're at. It's almost time for us to start talking Advent, believe it or not. The other day I was scrolling through and it was like there was already Advent sales, and I was just like, no. Gross.
My friend Lisa just put hers up today.
Gosh, I just
It's
can't,
gonna be Tolkien themed this year.
I mean, it's too early for me. Like, I can't keep up with all the things. With all the things, because we've got our Pride box coming up, we have a crochet box coming up, we've got the new quarterly box, we've got our monthly boxes, we've got a sock box coming up, like we've got a lot of things. So I'm like, I can't really, like, we have it on the calendar May to talk about Advent. We like to release it during Christmas in July, That's plenty. Oh, Karen, I thought you tapped out. You're back. Wait, did you come out just to give dirty eyes to the judgy eyes about Advent? Yeah. So, so we've got that. Yeah, I can't see us. We can't go into sale before then. It's just not realistic for us. But Tolkien themed. But she's got her own yarn, so it's pretty clear. Is it always the same every year? Like you get a certain amount of yarn and then the project changes?
No, I mean, she's got different options. I mean, it's like, you can do 24, 20 gram minis or 10 gram minis, and it's, you can choose which base you want it to be on. And then, or you can choose spinning fiber. You can choose any combination of the above. And then she always does like a day 25, special extra, because her specialty is self-striping yarns. So she'll do a special extra self-striping yarn for the day 25 that kind of ties things together. She's an amazing guy. And I looking at that when she put that email out there today, I texted her, I'm like, already?
I know, it's killing me. It's killing me. Like, we didn't even pull it. We thought about doing a bunny box, just for Easter. And it's like, we can't even get ourselves to like,
oh my gosh.
And I actually am already thinking about like some Christmas kits. I think we're going to, I'm just telling all the ideas tonight. We're talking about getting little tabletop tinsel trees, like 18-inch, not huge, like actually ordering those silver ones and then having patterns for wee baby tree skirts for them. So it's a whole kit. So you can make it for your table and then put a little whatever you want in both knit and crochet. So it will actually might get done for the year. It's not like such a huge project. Well, I don't mean we'll actually get it together. I mean, if somebody was making, I saw Karen's face. I was like, no, I mean, like making that's a big project. A tree skirt's a big project, but a little tiny one that you could put on your desk or wherever, a little candies under there, whatever. I don't know, you.
For a few hand knit little mitten and sock and stocking, mini sweater ornaments.
Yeah, we could do whatever we could include. But anyways, so we're thinking about that. We are thinking about the holidays, but it's just like the whole pre-sale thing right now. We wouldn't even know what to charge at this point because we've done something completely different every year. So we have to figure out,
And didn't the holidays just happen?
They did. I'm pretty sure they did. I mean, I just told Lisa that January was like 7 years ago, but the holidays just happened. So, so both.
It's not.
Yeah. Oh gosh. That gives me hives just even thinking.
Yeah, I need to get through March.
Yeah. Well, you're almost through it. You're almost through it.
Yeah, and it's supposed to snow tonight here.
Oh, really? Gosh.
Yeah.
Chance in Boston too. Probably not gonna happen, but
Okay. Yeah. It was trying to sleety, misty kind of thing a little bit earlier when Keith took the dogs for a walk, but
It is only March. I'm
that
expecting
is true. I mean,
I'm expecting snowflakes or some snow on the ground the third week of April.
yeah.
same here.
Yep. Oh yeah. I
The
have a
year I
picture
went to
for-
Hawaii, April
Yeah.
15th, it snowed in the morning. My plane was delayed.
Oh my gosh.
It snowed on April 15th.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've got a picture. It was April 24th. And the reason I know it is because it was my old Sony Mavica that put the date stamp right on the picture, the digital picture.
Mhm.
And I took a picture of our little skipper Xander. He just came in from the ice storm and was like a little tiny little black dog, but like frosted with all this white. It was the only time you could actually see him in a picture.
That's funny. Yeah.
So yeah, weather. Yeah.
Claudia, California's having some crazy town weather too.
Lots of rain.
Lots of rain.
Or it's morning at one point. It was such bright sunshine that the light reflecting off my computer screen was blinding me. And then 10 minutes later, it was dumping down with rain again. We
So
actually,
weird. That is just not how California rolls usually.
it's been a really wet winter.
Non-stop.
Last week I was without power for more than 2 days.
You were?
Yeah, I had, luckily one of my favorite neighbors, we've known each other for 25 years now. She said, hey, do you want to go with me to my in-laws house in Vacaville and stay there for a couple of days until the power comes back? It's like, yes.
Oh, good.
So we got out of town. It was actually a lovely little getaway kind of trip. Her in-laws are delightful and their house is beautiful and it was great. But I would be a frozen statue now if I had stayed in my house any longer. So it was crazy. And then it's just raining off and on since. So today's an off day.
If you want to talk about wild weather, if you went way up north in northern Michigan, like where the two peninsulas meet,
Yeah.
they've had incredible northern lights for the last week and a half, 2 weeks.
I want to see those so bad. I want to see them real bad.
And one of my friends.
I'll find pictures and I'll post it on the YarnYAY site.
I'd love to.
That'll be nice too.
Well, I really haven't seen them really, really nice since I was a kid.
I haven't either. I haven't been that far north since I was in my early to mid-teens. But one of my best friends, her twin sons are now up at Michigan Tech, which is in Houghton Hancock, which is about as far north as you can go. Yeah. In the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So they ran into, because they went up for a spring break this week and ran into just all sorts of storms, and it took them much longer to get up there and get across the Mackinac Bridge and get into the UP than is normal.
Claudia, didn't you say, what is the thing that we were going to meet up in Austin for? There's some light strobing.
Total eclipse. Next
Different. I forgot. It was the Bonnie Tyler moment. It wasn't at all the, okay.
I actually went to Iceland a few years ago.
I want to do that.
And thinking I'm going to see the Northern Lights, and they flashed the night before we got there, and then we were there for 10 days, and they didn't happen again. I felt so cheated, but it was a lovely.
I thought that was just like a given if you went to Iceland.
That's what I thought, but no, apparently it's not as predictable as you would hope. So that's right.
You know that it's double the price to fly to Iceland right now than it is to fly to the UK. No,
which is crazy.
It's crazy pants.
Yeah, because it was so cheap to fly to Iceland when
it used to be like, oh, we could just go to Reykjavik for like $300, obviously.
Cheap.
Yeah, it was like, it was somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 for a ticket to Iceland.
That's crazy.
Look at flying into Toronto and then flying out there.
Well, if you fly out of Toronto, I know this only because Julia, who works with us, you can fly to Reykjavik, you can fly to Europe, and if you stop in Reykjavik for the night or 2 nights or 3 nights, it doesn't increase your plane ticket at all. Like they love that, like
Yeah.
all that in. So that's the part that just kills me. I'm like, I want to go, but not $1,500 want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Iceland was really fun and really beautiful.
Would I be able to eat anything there?
I imagine Iceland has plenty of vegetarians and vegans now. It's a
think?
very forward-thinking modern country. So I think you probably could get away with it. I mean, I was with Karen and she was, she was vegetarian at the time and she found things to eat. So I don't know, it's been 7 years, I think, since I've been there.
Any entire country that believes in fairies, I want to check out.
Oh, totally. I mean, the woman who organized the tour that I went on, she's super educated. She was a nurse, and somebody on it was a knitting and alternative music tour. It was great. And she on the bus one day, someone asked, was it true that Icelanders believed in elves? And she laughed and she said, no. We don't believe in elves. We know they exist. And she was dead serious. And she talked about how you couldn't photograph them, you couldn't do this and that. And it was fascinating
They
listening.
build their infrastructures around things,
Yes.
around fairyland. Like they won't. I love it.
We went to a waterfall called Guldfloss.
Uh-huh.
And I was taking pictures all around, and they live in caves on cliffs and stuff. The elves.
Yeah.
And I was on one side of, I sort of walked away from the group and went a different way, and I saw these 2 caves that were like eyebrow shaped on the far face of the falls, and so I took pictures. And of all the pictures I took in Iceland, those were the only 2 pictures which didn't turn out.
That's
I had
amazing.
taken a
I love it.
bazillion pictures from that same, like looking in
I
different directions.
love it.
That
Yep.
vantage point, and those were the 2 that didn't turn out. So
Love it.
I absolutely believe there are elves in Iceland.
Oh my God.
So,
I gotta go. I gotta go.
awesome. I'll go with you. Just let me
And
know when.
they sell yarn at like the gas stations there.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, and when we went,
Knitting
got to-
tour.
we got to visit Sigarus. I
Sigur Rós. Yeah, Sigur Rós.
Yeah, we got to visit their studio. They weren't recording that day, but it was still super cool. to
I mean, the
visit.
only thing that would be cooler is if
Sigur
Bjork
Rós.
gave you the tour.
Well, and Bjork was there because it was a
Of course she
music
was.
festival.
There's one city.
We were like doing all the.
Where else can she go?
Yeah. It has everything we want.
I once had a crush on a boy who was from Iceland, and he was like his family had moved. We had randomly, like we had a lot of people from a lot of different countries, and it was in Torrance, California. And he moved back, or he went back to visit, and you didn't need even like last names to try. And back then I had to go with like quarters and like find a payphone and like figure out all the things.
Yeah.
And I had just general information, and I got transferred and like to the house within like 2 minutes. It was crazy. It was just like
Where
Everybody knows
everybody, like everybody in the entire country seems to know. Like,
That's awesome.
Too close to comfort for me.
yeah, no, not my gig for living, but I would love to visit. I think it would be really fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool.
Well, speaking of visiting, thank you so much for hanging out and chatting. Even though I'm always curious why we have smaller groups, I do like sometimes when we do and we can actually like chat. So it was lovely to have you. And I will post, for those that are watching this later and can't see the chat, I will post all of these. Hopefully without Chris, I can figure out where all these links are coming from. I'll post them in the YarnYAY group. And actually, well, maybe I'm not there yet, but I am going to start cross posting or mirror posting on Ravelry for people that want it, but maybe not yet. Maybe it's not ready.
No, I was already there and posted a reply to your first post.
Woo, that's exciting. It only took
I
like 5
love it.
days for one person. I was like, oh, Mama's rusty. It is,
I had to find you, but I did.
well, and I changed the name of the group because
Right. But yeah, no, I was able to find you and I replied to your first new post. So
huzzah. Well, allegedly Julia's been in there posting about the crochet along today. I haven't seen it yet because it's been one of those back-to-back days, but
right.
And Vicky, I posted a picture of the Northern Lights for you on
Thank
the
you.
YarnYAY page.
thank you, Ellen. I appreciate it. All right, everyone, have a good night. As always, if you need anything, just email us and we'll get you covered. All right,
Bye.
take care.
Be well, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.